Namaste, this is Srikanth Jare, your wealth advisor. Today, as soon as you open your YouTube, you see very attracting, luring advertisements. It says, secure your family with 1 crore by investing just 500 rupees per month, or secure your family with 1 crore at just the cost of a cup of a coffee. Very attractive, right? And yes, I'm talking about term insurance from the private companies. Before we purchase term insurance from these private companies, we need to understand there are lots of ifs and buts. And these ifs and buts are not known to you until you get the policy bond. And the policy bond, you only receive it after you purchase an insurance from them. Today, we will see how these private insurance companies, they have got lots of hidden clauses. And they are in very small, minute letters, which we even don't pay attention when we are signing up the document. Today, let us look at some of the common exclusions. Exclusions, what do you mean by it? It means that the private companies will not pay you any insurance amount if you fall under these categories. So, one of the primary important exclusion is act of God. Yes. What does it say? Suppose there is a tsunami or floods or an earthquake. It says that the private insurance company is not liable to pay you. Second, war or a terrorist attack. It says that they don't pay you. Third, say for example, if you are identified with any of the critical illness like the cancer, they clearly mention that if the person dies within 30 days after the diagnosis of the cancer or any critical illness, then they are not going to pay you. One more clause. Suppose if any accident happens and the person dies after 180 days, they are not going to give you any death benefit. What if the person has gone into coma for 180 days and after that he passes away? He is not going to get any death benefit. So these private companies are telling us when to die and how to die. So dear friends, apart from this, there are lots of other things that we need to look into it. Any private insurance company has got around 13.5% in the form of expenses. That is, if they earn around 100 rupees, 13.5 rupees goes in the form of expenses. And they get only around 5.3% in the form of income. So, when a company is earning, say, 60,000 rupees and they are promising you 1 crore, how realistic is it? Now, we'll also explore some of the other hidden clauses with proofs. I'm not just telling you blindly all this. Now look at the document. See this, there are lots of exclusions. Next, look at this, which are highlighted in yellow. It says that we will not pay any accidental death benefit if the death occurs after 180 days from the time of accident. We will not pay any accidental death benefit if the accidental death is caused directly or indirectly by any of the following, and again we have many additional conditions. These companies are dictating our death. Look at the clause number 4. It says, injuries resulting from war, invasion, act of foreign enemy, hostilities, armed or unarmed truce, civil war, mutiny, rebellion, revolution, insurrection, military, riot or civil commotion, strikes. These companies are not going to pay you. And next, look at the document. And again we have a series of exclusions. One of the most exclusion you'll find in private companies is force majeure clause. What do you mean by this force majeure? It says that under this clause, they can cancel your claim anytime. They can cancel your maturity anytime. They can increase the premium anytime, and they can cancel your policy anytime. Which means that if the company is under loss or there's a lockdown or a strike because of the change in the government policies, then they no need to pay you and you have accepted to the agreements and signed with your own signature. Let us read one of the force majeure clause. This is a force majeure clause. It says that if our performance, which means the company's performance, or any of our obligations or in any way prevented or hindered as a consequence of any act of God or state, strike, lockout, legislation or restriction by any government or any authority or any other circumstances beyond our anticipation or control, the performance of the policy shall be wholly or partially suspended during the continuance of such force majeure with prior approval of IRDA. Which means, even if a company is under loss, just by informing IRDA, they can stop paying you any of the claims. Is this the reason you are paying the amount? Dear friends, the purpose of your investments is to secure a family. And if you are looking at 100 or 200 rupees less premium, which means that you are digging your own grave and you are putting your family into trouble. Now, some companies cleverly do not mention force majeure, they rename it. Look at, instead of force majeure, they have renamed it as modification, amendment, reenactment of or to the insurance laws and rules, regulations, guidelines, clarifications, circulars, etc. And down, they have mentioned we reserve the right to change any of these policy provisions, terms and conditions. What do you mean? It means that they got the entire authority to change the terms and conditions, and you, while purchasing the policy, you have accepted to their terms and conditions, and tomorrow you cannot fight against them. You might say all the other companies are very big companies and it is not required for them to do all this. Dear friends, if they have any intentions of paying you, then why did they keep these clauses? Let us look at the LIC bond. LIC never had such hidden clauses. You can go through the entire bond, but they never mention any such clauses. We find all such hidden clauses in the private companies. I wanted to tell you a recent story that has come in the paper. Let us look at this article from Gujarati publications. Since it is in Gujarati, I will translate it into English. It says that most of the private companies formed a committee, and what is the purpose of this committee? This committee makes sure that any big claims will not be given. That is, they try to find out some problem in the claims and they will not settle it. For example, of a case mentioned in here is that a person while purchasing insurance, he forgot to mention his hobbies. He just mentioned singing and dancing as his hobbies. And this guy went on to trekking with his friends. There, he met with an accident and passed away. When the family approached for claims, the private companies have rejected, stating that he has not mentioned trekking as his hobby. How foolish is this? There are lots and lots of such cases. Dear friends, end of the day, don't look for a smaller premium. Look at the quality of the company. LIC is one of the best investment companies you have. Today, LIC has a death claim settlement of 99.5% and one of the most renowned profitable companies from 1956 and one of the most trusted brands in India. Dear friends, LIC was the first company who came forward and settled the COVID victims. It was the first company who came and settled the Pulwama attack soldier families. Trust in LIC and please talk to your advisor. And I also suggest you not to go online and purchase these insurances, because tomorrow in case of any emergency, it is the advisor who is going to run for you and your family and make sure that your family gets the death claim in your absence. Online, there's nobody to answer your requirements and there's nobody to take those responsibility. So dear friends, talk to your advisor, sit with him and finalize what is best that suits you. Dear friends, if you don't have an advisor and if you're staying at Bangalore, you can always contact me. I'm Shrikant Diyari and I can be reachable at 9972 444 558 and I look forward to connect with you.